Hello and welcome to another update video about QNT. We talk about Quant here again. I did take the orange support area off the chart now because it got a bit confusing. It's sort of in a way a little bit, but just to mention it for everybody who wasn't or didn't watch the previous videos, this is the support area here, which was support for a possible long trade here. Or for our long trade setup in the blue wave count into the 200 and more dollar region. Yeah, this is the blue wave count. This setup is still technically valid, but as I said to you many times, a sustained break below the $112 level will make this setup very, very unlikely. Now, this is really a difficult case because we haven't really had a sustained break below $112. Yeah, we broke below it, but recovered, broke again, but recovered again. And we're currently even holding above that level again. But because we are just sort of dancing on that level, dancing around the level, and we're not really holding it, I'm starting to get a little bit more in favor of a breakdown. And I think this is new primary. And this is the yellow count, which would send us a little bit lower. So while the blue count is still valid, it has retraced a bit more than it would be ideal, and therefore it has lost in credibility and reliability, and therefore the yellow wave count gets a little bit more in control. The problem is this is really a difficult chart right now. It really is a scenario in which there isn't really clearly an edge between both setups. There is a downside setup. There is an upside setup. Sometimes you get this situation in the charts, and sometimes also the technical analysis really cannot really give you an edge here. However, if someone wanted to trade this on the long side, it's quite simple to do. Yeah, you have a very clear invalidation point for an upside setup, and that is basically the Wednesday, the 26th of April low, very clearly. That's the $106 level. A break below that level will invalidate the blue wave count and would invalidate a direct bullish breakout setup. That's why you have a very clear invalidation point. In my opinion, phenomenal reward to risk ratio here. Phenomenal. However, low probability of working out. Okay, and that's sort of the problem you deal with as a trader. On the flip side, we have a downside setup, not so phenomenal reward to risk ratio, but in my opinion, slightly higher probability of working out now. It is the yellow wave count here within this C wave that we come down in the fifth wave of the C wave, ideally into the region between $94 and $61. Just simply has to do with the situation that the overall wave count suggests in this particular setup that we rallied in a wave one between June and October last year. We came down in an A wave, which was pretty impulsive, then a B wave, corrective, yeah, and now a C wave, probably an ending diagonal, in a wave two, and from here we could then rally in a third wave. Yeah. The alternative count is also that we rallied in a wave one, but that this was already all of wave two, and we had basically here another, let me think, we had another 1-2 setup, yeah, and this would have been another, let me think, what did we have? 1-2, what was that? There was another 1-2, right? Yeah, here another 1-2 and another 1-2 setup. So this would be very bullish, yeah. That's the blue count, but with a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 setup, it just doesn't add up anymore. If you know about Elliott wave, it would mean that this is actually a very bullish setup, a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 setup, but it would literally need to rally now. And from a probability point of view, this is lower. And there are a few problems with this chart. For example, that this move down was very sharp, very impulsive. So I really have problems to count this as all of wave two. So I'm primarily looking at it as a wave A. This move up was clearly three wave like. So I'm looking at it as a B wave. And the move down could very well be a C wave, especially given the at least brief break of the $112 level. And we also have a head and shoulders pattern on the chart. I'm not a friend of head and shoulders, but it is there, yeah, looming above the trend line. And if we break that ascending trend line, which is clearly defined, this trend line, yeah, then it will most likely send us down. So that's sort of the situation around the QNT chart. A break above $128, in my opinion, would again make me favor more the blue count. So it's just a fight between the bulls and the bears now. There is a long trade setup still there, but it's low probability in terms of working out, but it's phenomenal reward to risk. Alright, that's my update about QNT. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.